Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again. This is a balls deep of a game known as Hypergun. As you can tell by this very snazzy elevator and the music that we're listening to right now, this is an interesting game. So the first thing you'll notice is the movement is pretty futuristic-y feeling. You move very fast in this game, more so because it's quite a fast FPS game, but also additionally because you can mess with your FOV, which is always nice. But you start in this kind of interesting team-building corporate location, which has a lot of interesting character for you to investigate and look into and get as much as you want out of it as you can. You can interact with a lot of things, touch a lot of stuff, you know, kind of go nuts. This is, of course, being played on the PC, and I would like to say that I got a code of this game from the devs, so a big thank you to them for letting me check out their baby. And it's I believe it is a first-person shooter roguelike, where you go through procedurally generated, randomly generated encounters and just see how long you can survive in the ilk of something like Enter the Gungeon. But of course the distinction here is it's kind of futuristic-y, and of course it's a first-person shooter. But there's all kinds of details and things to see here if you want to look into it to get kind of some of the fiction, some of the story, things like that. Check out the anti-aliasing on the edge of there. It gives it that kind of staccato stair-stepping. And there's all the stuff you can mess with for future attempts and everything. But I'm not going to go too deep with this, purely because I just don't want to dilute the premise of what this is. This is for the person that sees this and thinks this is interesting, you know? I want to check this out. And there's a whole host of mystery to be found here. But we're going to go directly to the simulation, which I think is how you start the game, yeah? So in here, you can see your different guns that you've found, maybe, or something of that nature. It's going to be storing certain things you can get, like outfits and prestige. And if you look here, I haven't really done anything in this game, apparently. I've had like 4 or 5 runs on it when I was doing other things, and I didn't really get that far because I wanted to save it for a video, so I didn't know too much about the game before I got started. But let's jump in. So you go into here, you begin the simulation, and it asks you if you want to play the tutorial level. Well, we won't play the tutorial level because I played it before. It's quite lengthy. I don't know my metrics because I don't record with Bandicam anymore to tell you my metrics, but from what I can feel so far, seems pretty sweet. So press E to pick this up. It is an attachment. It gave me a muzzle brake for my gun here, and the music kicks off because it's got the whole sci-fi, it's got the quartz-looking, you know, sharp geometry. It's got the neon, it's got the lights, and it's of course got the synth. But you can shoot some of the boxes around and get various things. You have to bear with me, folks. I've not touched a mouse in a while. This could be a catastrophique. 15 shield found. And another bin broken, and then you move into your first encounter, which is this room. Enemies are spawned in via these teleporters, and we can proceed to get some damage numbers on the creatures that attack us now. And you can jump, but I don't know if there's a benefit to it. Like, I don't feel like it gives me much of a speed increase. But if you're a fan of bunny hopping, you can kind of like simulate your fantasies, because bunny hopping's pretty cool. Oh, that's a shield. That wasn't correct. There's your speed boost, the sprint that I just used. They weren't explosive barrels. Should probably get rid of the things that are shooting me, right? That seems like a pretty good idea. I believe your other keys have those abilities, but they're in the bottom right, and unfortunately, in my current setup, my bottom right is blocked by my microphone because I'm pretty bootleg. I'm pretty guerrilla radio. But you'll notice it says Q drinks coffee. I think F does something else, and I'm not entirely sure what the green image is. But it's all stuff to experiment with and see how it works. Like, we'll try F in a moment. It's some kind of power boost, potentially. Oh god, that was a bad idea, Chris. But these enemies run up to you, they do a physical attack, and then once you've cleared the room, you get the little fanfare there of them evaporating. You can get your health back, you can look around, you can pick up, see if there's any cool loot, anything new that's been accrued, and then you can move on to your next encounter. And this is kind of it. This is what these games are. You have a handy map in the bottom left. I think immediately, if you're judging this, you know whether or not it's going to be for you. because there's plenty of these kind of games on the market, and it's just another foray into that, but with its own spin. And the enjoyment wholeheartedly comes from, do you like, you know, the sound and the look? Do you like the kind of throbbing, pulsing, undulating experience of shooting and kicking ass and getting on with it? As I go the wrong way because my sense of direction's God tier. We come over here into this doorway, and then it spawns our next encounter, which is going to get queued, right? So Q does that. It throws some kind of stinky coffee at people. I don't know if it's bait or what it is. Not entirely certain. Let's get a nice speed boost again. Very reminiscent of Borderlands and the like with the damage numbers. You either like them or you don't. There's potentially an option to turn them off if they're too much for you. The enemies at the beginning start quite basic, and they do gradually start to amp it up a little bit. But one of the things I think that this game is going to be really, really good for certain people, especially somebody like me, is I'm always wanting to have an opportunity to get better with a mouse, especially when I haven't used one in a while, when I feel rusty and slow and not very good. This is a kind of game that you can put on while you're waiting for something to happen, or you've got something loading, or you've got some responsibilities but you can't invest a lot of time, and you just want to jump on and get a nice raw experience of shooting stuff. I think this can be a great kind of intermediary asset for that. And then you might find yourself losing a few hours when you realise that, you know, the game feels nice, it runs nice, it looks nice, it's got stuff to it. I have to be honest, I'm not a big roguelike guy, because the premise of roguelikes is one of those aspects of video games that has always kind of boggled me, which is this idea of failure leading to resets, leading to reinvention. And I think it applies to a lot of people who love that kind of design, but I kind of like checkpoints and conventional level structures, and if I want to get better, I'll play it again kind of thing. The whole idea that, you know, failure is just one step into grinding a little bit further and getting something more interesting. Oh, I don't have a key to open this, that's unfortunate. Is one of those very unique roguelike things, isn't it? People don't mind losing in those games because they got a bad RNG and they didn't get the right weapon or the right drops, so they look at it as an opportunity to you know, RNG God grace them with better results. Whereas I look at it as 15 minutes wasted, and I'll never get as far as I did before because I've got a very specific mindset towards it, and it's a detriment, don't get me wrong. It means that I won't ever enjoy these games as much as I'd like to, but I think the more that you play them and the more you get into the mindset, the easier that type of stuff will become, potentially. Maybe you'll get more adjusted to it. Maybe you will feel, you know, less inclined to want to turn the game off when you fail, and more inclined to, you know, maybe I can just do this slightly differently or approach this in a different way, something like that. One of the rooms I went in before, instead of these targets that shield us, it gave me the option to explode some barrels. You've got a very handy air brake as well. If I hold backwards in mid-air, I air strafe, which is kind of interesting. I don't know how much of that you're going to use in the full, you know, like tougher locations. But it's cool that you have a lot of control over yourself. I like that. Like, you do not even have to do any of that source code manipulation either. Your guy will air strafe the hell out of things. That's kind of interesting. It goes against a little bit of my programming, because most of the first-person shooters I play at the moment, you do things like holding left and right to move faster, while bunny hopping and the like, so it's kind of interesting. But we'll keep pushing forward, see if I can show you something a little different. So that's what the Q does. It puts like burning coffee on people, which I guess is kind of interesting. If I had to throw any criticisms at this game from what little I've played, because as it stands, it's kind of exactly what it is, isn't it? If you're criticising it on the basis of being a roguelike and an FPS and having a very dramatic style of almost, you know, neo-techno science fiction, futurescapes, whatever you want to call it. If you're wondering where the ammo is, by the way, do you see the blue line? When I hold the trigger, the blue line goes down. When I let go of the trigger, it comes back up. That's kind of how you moderate your ammunition intake and outtake. But the two areas of the game that I found, just when I was looking to find something to say on the critical measure, because if you know me, you know... Oh, what is this? There we go. Woodsman attachment discovered, plus 25 damage, but my fire rate went down. Oh, whoa, is that auto-aiming? Oh, maybe it's like threat detecting? Hang on a second, are my bullets following that guy? I have no idea. I'm getting fucked up though, gotta be careful. Interesting. So you'll notice that the gun's taken on a much different look now and a much different fire rate, which I really dig the whole idea of incrementally changing the weapons. That's something that I really enjoy. There we go, we get a nice map revealed. Nice little UAV. But as I was saying, guys, I'm quite a critical person, and I like to give good with bad. A lot of the times I focus on bad, not because I want to come across as some kind of demon of video games. That's not really my my intent. But I find that a lot of the great parts about games are quite self-evident, and you already like them without being told what to like. Whereas the critical things can be harder to see, especially if we're trying to like something. And it's one of the areas that I definitely stress on, because I find it interesting to see the discourse of the different things that people like and dislike. But a lot of the times on the internet, as we look in here, and there's lots of things to buy in this faux shop, but I don't think I have too much currency. I only have 6 bits, so I'm not going to mess with it. The problem with the internet is, of course, you can't disagree with things with people because you become sworn enemies then. You can't share discourse with somebody or contradicting statements and opinions because, of course, you should have to then have pistols ready at dawn and kill each other. And much like that, when you share criticism on the internet, a lot of people look at it as being just needless whining and complaining, which is something that you're probably going to hate about my channel if that's how you feel. But if you don't, hopefully you'll be able to look past that and see the beauty of seeing a fineness to design, even if it's not necessarily good design or design that you like yourself. So to throw a couple of judgmental pendulums this game's way, I find that when you shoot the enemies outside of the damage numbers, you don't really feel like you're getting much feedback. And of course, this is early on, and the enemies are very specific. But aside from, you know, watching them smoke and a little bit of quite small and compact animations, it doesn't give me the feeling of colliding with them. And it might be my gun, it might be these particular enemies in general, it might be something I'm completely ignorant of. But it can definitely make it feel like you're just kind of shooting shit and none of it matters. And the feel of your game, in my opinion, I don't know how you get through his shield at the moment, is the most important aspect of it. It's what keeps people playing, it's what brings people back. And some people will like how this feels and how the impacts on the enemies work because they can keep it simple on just focusing on putting reticle on enemy and building that muscle memory and getting better with their aim and their skill and everything. But I think because games are so beautiful and so animated and so reactionary to what we do to them, and there's so much visual language that's embedded in that feedback system, that when you shoot in this game there is an almost flaccid feeling to it. But that could change, and once again, it might just be my personal preferences shining through here. And you might be thinking, Chris, are you holding back this opinion and you're really trying to tell us, are you blinking an SOS to us to tell us that the shooting doesn't feel good or something, but you're not saying it because these guys provide you with the code? And that's not the case whatsoever, folks. It's very awesome to get hooked up by a dev and by their publishers. It's one of the best aspects of doing what I do and being an influencer, even though I never really looked at myself like that, even though obviously it will have happened, undoubtedly. But one thing I can guarantee you guys is an honesty, an almost dangerous honesty. And as it stands right now, just playing this for an extra session, this is like the 3rd time I've been on it, I think this is a fun game. I can easily imagine myself dumping hours into this game, just kind of brainlessly going around and getting shit done. And I think you will too if this is your kind of thing. And I believe that it doesn't take much of a powerful PC to run, and I think it might even be on console as we come up against our first boss encounter. I've not seen a boss, that's how long I've played this game for. Oh, okay. So there is gaps in the armor. I do like circle strafing. It's the small things. Look at that douchebag trying to track me. Oh, I'm out of bullets. Can I throw some coffee at this? Yeah, I guess I can. Dude, did I not get like the good gun or something? I'm doing no damage right now. Where's the weak point? Is it the tip of the dick? Can I shoot the laser bit? Nope. Oh, there's the other button, isn't there, with the damage boost? No? Oh, does this just make you get infinite ammo for a short time? No idea. Are you supposed to lose this fight? Oh my goodness. Oh, there you go. Oh, I get it. It's like Tetrasphere. We're chipping away to the base, to the actual core, right? Is that doing proper damage? It didn't seem like it was. Maybe I don't get it. Bloody your face is itching, that's what I do know. Ow! Stop shooting me! I'm trying to beat the boss. I keep walking through, it's like blazing Buster rifle shots, which is obviously a great idea, right? Wow. I'm not seeing any feedback that I'm doing more damage to the core, but I think maybe I am. I hope I am. It's certainly something. Not gonna lie, not my favourite kind of encounter this. I like the idea of dodging projectiles. I like the idea of exposing a weak point, but this just feels like it's taking 50 minutes too long. Is the floor turning to lava? I can't tell. No, it's not. Oh, yes it is! Uh-oh. Oh shit, I teleported and it put me back in. Oh god. This has ended badly. That was bizarre. Cause of death. Lava. Right, let's show a reset, shall we? Can I accept this? Yeah, I didn't like that boss at all. Not one bit. But, you know, I'm a weird guy. Here we go. 13 minutes in, 108 kills, 32 criticals, level 1 achieved. Return to office or restart. So we'll just do a quick restart, guys, see if it goes a little bit different to what I just showcased, to give you the idea of the general ethos of Roguelike. As you can see on this choppy-ass loading screen, there are a ton of different guns, conceptually. Ooh, now we got a scope. What is it? How do I do that? I don't know how to scope. Does it make my gun more accurate, maybe? Who knows? Let's get into it. No shooting at the boxes. We'll just get straight to shooting the bad guys. One thing I do like about these melee fellas here is that they don't get that bullshit property that's alive in a lot of games. The idea of them having way more range than they visually appear to have. It's one of my least favourite aspects of first-person shooters, when they know that you're capable is very capable. Your capable is very capable. That's English language for you. Your character is exceptionally capable. So to even the odds of you being so evasive, they make the enemies have ridiculous amounts of range they shouldn't actually have. And it's just one of those things I've never been the biggest fan of. But this game handles it quite gracefully with those enemies. It might get worse later on, or better, who knows. Do you ever get the feeling that you strafe more so into bullets than you do out of their way? That's definitely something I feel when I play games. Like, the amount of times I just run into the round, astronomical. Can you stop, dude, please? Thank you. Right, let's crack on. Something's in this room. Some kind of treasure. What do we get? A Bitcoin. There you go. I'm gonna go spend that now on CSGO Lotto. See if I can get some cool camos. On this website me and my friend Brock totally just found by accident. Hashtag not conning kids or anything. Alright, here we go. Little idle animation on the hand then. That was interesting. Right, let's see what we've got. More flying fellas, okay. Oh, and a ton of these guys. That's interesting. So one thing I have noticed as well with some of the environments, the biggest enemy, as it is oftentimes in these kind of shooters, is getting caught against geometry and against the environment itself. Because you're pretty quick, you're pretty nifty, you're pretty capable. You've got a gun in your hands, you can get rid of a lot of problems, solve those problems very quickly just by shooting them. But if you get stuck in a corner and a bunch of these guys discover you, whew, you're in for a bad time. You just are. Just how it's going to end, isn't it? One guy over there. See him on the map. I love the idea of having a map, I really do. First-person shooters that show you stuff on maps is a big thing for me. I'm a big fan. Oh, interesting. There we go. We've got a secondary fire saw blade that bounces off of geometry, so you can do bank shots with it. and it regenerates, and I can fire it. That's pretty sweet. That's going to open the map up, so you can find all the hidden treasures. I apologise if I sound a bit shitty in the mouth. I went to the wedding the other day, and I think just mingling with a million different people from 9 million tribes has given me the super AIDS. So my throat was really sore when I woke up today. Anyone would have thought I was drinking out of everyone else's drink, and I got like mouth AIDS, but I wasn't. I'm a victim. Right, what's this? Something's behind me. Or above me. Hi, guys. Oh, wow, that sword does a lot of damage. And it regens? Hot damn. That's cool. But as with a lot of wow, I'm getting fucked up right now. As with a lot of shooters, you want to focus on the guys that are the most dangerous traditionally. Which in this case would probably be the flying guys, right? It's projectile as well. So you're going to have to be careful with your aiming at the little saw blade. Dude, your jump is so floaty at times. It's really interesting. Lots of people squealing and making pig-like noises. And anyone would think it was the weekend preview. I wonder if it's those little dudes on the ground that do that. That's a spawning enemy thing. So this round seems a lot trickier than the last one, just purely because of the flying enemies. Flying enemies are much more dangerous and seemingly have pretty good accuracy too. As much as enemies can have accuracy without being bullshit, because there's nothing worse really, is there? Oh, that enemy hit me with every bullet just because. Nice. That's exactly what I like on a game where the healing is quite vague and ambiguous. I'm a fan of projectile aiming though, because it teaches you to aim in ways that you might not necessarily be that comfortable with. And anything outside of your comfort zone is really useful. So what was this? No idea. I wonder if it's all projectile. I was hitting that guy. I could have swore I had the reticle on them and it didn't hit them. Maybe it was colliding with something? Not too sure. What do we get? Ooh, it's a treasure trove of bandoliers and stuff. Some nice visual design on the images, and then the HUD design. It's nice and simple, but it gets its point across. I can get behind that. Something's over there. I can't figure out if the blue arrow is where I've been or where I'm going. That's the shop, like last time. I should probably buy something healing. I only have 5 though. How do I do this? 7 bits, 10 bits, 5 bits. Maybe buy some shield. There you go. But another thing you'll notice about roguelikes is they're pretty tough. You know, you can't just stumble up and bumble your way through them a lot of the times. You have to earn it. Which is really respectable, but it adds to my general distaste of them, because I want to kind of bumble through shit at first sometimes, you know. Having to try 1000% every time you play can be fun, but it can also be pretty frustrating. Especially when you're walking into shots and taking big damage from them. Walking into all sorts of things. What if not breaking all the boxes is gonna hurt me? There we go. Bandolier thing. Whatever that was. We got a chest just through here and then something over there. No keys. I don't think I found any keys yet. You have to buy the keys maybe? Okay, maybe I'm just poor. Is this the same boss? What if it is the same? I love this pink corridor, by the way. It is the same boss. Spheros, the knobhead. The dude that sucks. But I've got way more damage now, so maybe he'll be dead easy. Ow. I have no idea if I'm doing any more damage than I was last time. I think I was doing 10 damage last time because I had more attachments. Kind of want to chase that bit. 15 damage is nice to see. Just have to be aware, I have to be careful. Because of course we know what the next phase is when we do too well. Ow. I'm just going to wait till the ground starts glowing again. Pretty decent signifier that you're about to get bummed. Don't know why I didn't react to just video games, right? I wonder if he has a super crit point and I'm just not hitting it. There we go. When you gotta get... Oh shit. That sucked. Just tried to chuck coffee on it. Oh no! How did I do that? Apparently my strafing's not good. I thought I was doing like a decent circle and I was not. I died in lava again. But there you go, guys. That is Hypergun. Pretty decent example of what it is. If it looks good to you, pick it up now. It is available. Thank you very much for watching, and you take care now.